finished with
Ready.
the FedEx Cup victory, finished with the Tour Championship victory. Our Bill Rosinski caught up with him.
DJ, congratulations. It's hard to win on the PGA Tour, and even with a 5-shot lead going into the final round, 3 birdies early to give you a little bit more cushion. Your thoughts on how you played?
Yeah, obviously
Ready.
got off to a great start, but, the golf course, especially
Ready.
7, 8, 9, very difficult holes, and then, all the holes on the back 9 are difficult if you don't drive it in the fairway. 5 shots is never too much. Especially around this golf course, because and with the caliber of players that were right behind me, I knew I was going to have to go out and shoot a good score if I wanted to win.
The distance to the pin is
Tell me about the putt at 13,
123.4
because
yards.
that was kind of a swing hole between you and Xander. He ends up making bogey, and you had that smoking into the cup.
Yeah, I finally had an uphill putt, and, we had a pretty good read on it. Yeah, I hit it a little hard, but it went in the middle. So, but yeah, that was definitely a big putt, big par save. Even though, I just misjudged the chip a little bit. I left my second shot in a great spot. I was chipping straight up the hill there, just in the first cut. It kind of nestled down a little bit. But, made a great putt, and that was I think that was a turning point for me. Hit a nice drive on, there on 14, hit a good shot on 15, and, and played coming down the stretch. I played very well.
What does this mean for you in your career to win this tournament? And you've won a bunch of playoffs events before, but now to be the FedEx Cup champ.
Yeah, I've been very close, quite a few times, and so it's definitely something that I wanted to do in my career, was be a FedEx Cup champion, and obviously today I finally got that, and obviously I can't thank FedEx enough for doing what they do for the game of golf.
Finally, Memorial, a couple of 80s, you WD with a 78. What happened after that? Then all of a sudden, something sparked you to this unbelievable 2 months.
Well, I just got in a couple bad habits with the golf swing, and so obviously after that I went home, I rested.
The distance to the pin is 15 feet.
I wasn't feeling that great, got some work done, so, but yeah, and then just worked out the kinks, and I knew I wasn't far off. It was just everything was going wrong for a couple of weeks, but I got the ship righted pretty well.
I would say, and you win $15 million as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Got the ship righted pretty well. He sure did. What a breathtaking stretch of golf he's played in the last couple of months, as Bill Rosinski pointed out. We've got Jeff calling from Ohio to talk about Player of the Year. Jeff, welcome to the program. Who are you thinking?
I started thinking about a little bit.
The distance to the pin is 6 feet and 9 inches.
Wow. I think you and I might be the only, me and Colin might be the only 3 that would vote for him, because everyone looks at the big numbers in terms of margins of victory and all that kind of stuff. But frankly, if you're talking about your career and your longevity, your legacy, what year is going to stand out more? 3 wins or a major championship, from my perspective. What's your reasoning behind Morikawa?
Just because he didn't let the big dogs scare him. He didn't let them back him down. He went toe-to-toe with them, and he proved that, hey, I belong here. I've got a game to match anybody. And to me,
the distance to the pin is 491.9 yards.
I really like his game.
Yeah, a great game. Dustin's game is one to be envious of also. And from my perspective, Colin going for the first time in the Tour Championship against those big hitters, against the guys who have accomplished all that they have accomplished in the top 4 finishers. He was standing in there, like I said, toe-to-toe until the very end, just bogeyed 3 of the last 5 holes. Other than that, he was, and even including that, finishes 6th in the FedEx Cup. To me, that's a special year, and throw in that major as well. What do you think about the 6 majors next year? If we're going to be judging ourselves on major champions, there's a lot of majors.
The distance to the pin is 253.4 yards.
Well, the only major I care about next year is the U.S. Open, and that's because I want to see Phil finally get it.
Man, how good would that be? The oldest?
I don't think he will, but I think deep down we're all rooting for him to complete the Mickle Slam.
How good would that be?
Oh, that would
with all
would
those
be,
runner-up finishes.
Exactly, but I'm going to go out on a limb right now Molinari wins Augusta next year.
Wow. And he deserves it, man. He was so close last year and in such good position after having a tremendous year. I'm not sure his game is in the same place it was last year, but definitely. Jeff, thanks for calling. Appreciate your thoughts as far as player of the year is concerned. Going with Colin Morikawa. Again, a guy who I have a hard time looking away from, the guy who only one who's won a major championship this year. So he's got the Colin Slam, the Morikawa Slam. But again, what year will you remember down the road?
Ready.
I mean, you can sit here and talk about all the stats you want, all the money you want. But what year would you point to and say that guy's year is one people will remember 10 years from now? Sure, Dustin
the
is
distance
likely
to the pin is 7 feet and 1 inches.
So they'll remember that. At this point, he hasn't gotten that yet. At this point, with all the money and everything, and it sounds like I keep throwing shade at Dustin Johnson. And maybe it'll sound like that until he wins a bunch more majors that are closer to his now 23 tour victories. I mean, come on, that's a ton of wins. And the way he's playing, going in 2 weeks to Wingfoot, which is going to require some exceptional play off the tee, around the green. I mean, it will thoroughly examine anyone's game entirely. I was there a week ago, and
the distance to the pin is 188
the kind
yards.
of U.S. Open test the USGA has long dreamed up, always tries to create no matter where they go. And Wingfoot, all you really got to do, let that rough grow a little bit, maybe bring the fairways in just a bit, tighten up those greens, which is going to happen in the next week or so, and have the members clear out their lockers.
Ready.
Man, you're ready to go for a Wingfoot U.S. Open. It's going to be unbelievable, especially here on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio. And when it becomes U.S. Open Radio, we are going to be there all week long. I'll be at Wingfoot.
Ready.
Taylor Zarzo will be at Wingfoot. Well, a ton of people on site talking about the place. I've been going to Wingfoot since literally I was a baby. And as a matter of fact, the day that I was born, my father was pulled off the golf course at Wingfoot. He was playing the seventh hole, the par 3, short little one. He had a 3-footer for birdie. He was already 400 through 6 holes.
The distance to the pin is 21
I don't
feet.
think he ever forgave me for getting pulled off the golf course by Mo Delaporte, who was the caddy master back in the day and one of the characters from Wingfoot Golf Club. And unfortunately, Dad was not able to finish that round.
Ready.
But fortunately, I came into the world October 28, 1961. A tough round, good round, cut short for my father. We'll talk more about Player of the Year, Dustin Johnson, Colin Morikawa. How about Justin Thomas? Xander Schauffele, what do you think? 866-469-0026. When we come back, we'll hear from the guy who said he would vote for himself Player of the Year before this weekend finished. Justin Thomas, what do you think about his chances when the David Marr Show continues?
Masters Week begins November 9th on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio.
The fans have spoken.
The distance to the pin is 340 yards. Ready.
With or without you.
Now, find out which U2 classic they voted their all-time favorite.
There are too many times to count in my life where these lyrics hit home for me.
The 100 most desired U2 songs.
Ready.
All Labor Day weekend on U2X Radio, Channel 32, and the Sirius XM app.
NFL Network is your home for 3 exclusive Thursday night football games. Let's go! September 17th, number 1 pick Joe Burrow leads the Bengals against Baker Mayfield and the Browns.
Mayfield, touchdown Browns.
The
September
distance
24th,
to the pin is
the Dolphins take on the Jags.
145.2 yards.
And on October 1st, Von Miller and the Broncos battle the Jets.
Unbelievable!
3 games, 1 network. Thursday night football starts September 17th at 8, only on NFL Network. We're here for Thursday.
Are you a survivor of sexual abuse while in the Boy Scouts? You may be entitled to compensation, no matter how long ago the abuse happened, but your time to file a claim is limited. Call 800-678-8807. That's 800-678-8807 for more information. As a result of thousands of victims filing sexual abuse claims, the Boy Scouts have filed for bankruptcy protection, and the Bankruptcy Court has set November 16, 2020 as the deadline for abuse survivors to file a claim. As a result of this bankruptcy, a victim's compensation fund is being set up that may be worth over $1.5 billion. Childhood sexual abuse takes numerous forms, including forcible rape, exposing oneself to a child, or showing her or him pornographic images, or viewing or photographing a child in a sexual context. If you are a survivor of sexual abuse while in the Boy Scouts, you may be entitled to compensation.